Thanks for joining us on Truck Driving Chef. We have a great show for you, so stick around.
Healthy grilling, 18-wheeler, Chef Abbie's changing lives. Doing it one driver at a time. She's got a long way to go to make it safer on the road. Healthy healing with Abbie's good advice. I'm headed for the truck stop. Chef Abbie's back in town. She's helping truckers turn their lives around.
Hello, we're at the market where we're going to go in and get some things for dinner. The salmon, rosemary garlic potatoes, and asparagus. But I want to show you a few health and wellness things that are in the produce department that you could use. Follow me. Hello there, how are you guys doing? Thanks for joining me on my market run, picking up some snacks. Snacks are very important when you're on the road, healthy ones at that. You don't want to eat snack cakes or fizzy drinks. But there's other things in the produce section that I would like to show you today. There are many things in this world that our Creator, God, gave to us to cure ourselves of different things. One in which I want to show you is ginger root. Ginger root is found in the produce section of most grocery stores, or as we say, markets. They look weird, they're all crazy, like our world today. But that particular root will help with acid reflux. It's also known to have what they call gingerol in it, which actually helps with nausea. Like if you have a chemotherapy patient that's going through chemotherapy, ginger root is something that will help with that nausea, morning sickness as well. So that's only one of the many different things that was put here on this earth for us to use. Another one of those wonderful plants that was left behind by our Creator for us to use for our health and other things is garlic. Not only does it add a great flavor, but do you know where garlic came from? It's native to Siberia. Now 5,000 years ago, from Siberia, it was spread all over the world. And now we have it. And every country out there has it. It has a great scent. It does have a bit of a kick to it if you eat it raw. It's great to go in most dishes. Adding it to your diet will also help with that high cholesterol, also known as hyperlipidemia. And for clogged arteries, it helps prevent that. High blood pressure as well. The next one on our list is avocado. Not only does it taste good, it's a great supplement for mayonnaise, and it's great on mushrooms on toast. Now, talking about fresh and great snacks for the road, if you pick up some celery, you can actually cut it into small pieces and bits and put it with peanut butter. You can also take some of these lovely carrots. Jazzy actually likes eating carrots. Put that with a bit of ranch dressing. Great way to start your day, but it's not really start it, but midway through the day, have a nice snack. Carrots. Oh, that's a lovely green color. Next on the list, many of you probably don't know, but here in the produce section, I'm trying to show you where you can get everything that I use when I'm cooking. And I don't see thyme, but thyme is another herb that is really great for many different things. But today, and if you can't find it here, I'm going to show you here in a second where you can get it. Rosemary for tonight. Now another one is cinnamon. And I don't mean cinnamon sticks when I say this. Cinnamon, for those of you that have diabetes and you have trouble with regulating your blood sugar, one thing I can tell you, and Billy, my other co-star, can tell you, it's got a bit of a bitter taste to it, but it works. You take a teaspoon of this, add it to 3 ounces of water, mix it up, heat it, so it melts all of the cinnamon and it will drop your blood sugar. Now, I guess you could walk around and suck on one of these, but you have a persimmon mouth for a while, but it would work. Put these back where they belong. That's what I was taught as a child. We're going to go and get some salmon, and then we're out of here in the lorry and down the road. Chocolate and vanilla. Damn healthy eating, I want my num-nums not there. Stop. No. Yes, no. Yes, no. Got the salmon, let's go.
Where truckers come to ride it, from Maine to Mexicali, I'm on my way there with the hammer down. Healthy grilling, 18-wheeler, Chef Abbie's changing lives, doing it one driver at a time. She's got a long way to go to make it safer on the road. Ford wheeling, no driver left behind. Tighten up my belt, gonna lose a little weight, stop a heart attack before it's too late.
I actually stopped in here in Palmer City at the Apple Barrel here at Sap Brothers. They have some absolutely gorgeous walkways and trails that they made here recently. Of course, I haven't been here in about 15 years, but it's still absolutely gorgeous. And they're constructing them outside. You could park your lorry, go for a nice brisk walk. I got a grueling 3-mile one to do because I had chips earlier, French fries, not good. I gotta walk a mile for every fry I ate, I guess. But with that said, I'm going to need some energy. So I'm gonna have a bit of a salad or maybe a BLT. Most people have a BLT, but because I don't eat pork because I'm Jewish, instead of the bacon, you can do turkey if they can do it. Many places have it, and to top it off, instead of a fizzy drink, you can have a nice refreshing glass of lemon water. Very tasty.
A long way to go to make it safer on the road. Ford wheeling, no driver left behind. Up my belt, gonna lose a little weight, stop a heart attack before it's too late. Got a hook and book, drive a load, drag that trailer down the road, learning to do things Chef Abbie's way. Healthy grilling, 18-wheeler, Chef Abbie's changing lives, she's doing it one driver at a time. She's got a long way to go to make it safer on the road. She's making.
And as I've said before, use your surroundings. This is a great place to do your stair steps. You've got a great railing to hold on to for security. And something like this to do inverted push-ups. I just got finished with a 3-mile walk and exercise. Let's go cook some salmon. Get those omega-3s in. One thing that's most important whenever you are out and about, if you don't have a pathway like I had today, walk the perimeter of any lorry stop. Always make sure that you wear reflective gear if you are walking in the night time. And make sure that you're safe no matter what you're doing. We got a lorry. Make sure that you're safe. Carry something with you for protection, if at all possible. And if you can help it, try not to walk alone or in dark, unlit areas. Remember, if you're going to walk the perimeter, at any place, supermarkets, truck stop, lorry stop as I say, in the dark, make sure you use reflective gear for your safety. But you know, nothing quite this dramatic.
Healthy grilling, 18-wheeler, Chef Abbie's changing lives. She's doing it one driver at a time. She's got a long way to go to make it safer on the road. Healthy healing with Abbie's good advice. I'm headed for the truck stop. Chef Abbie's back in town. She's helping truckers turn their lives around. Where truckers come to rally from Maine to Mexicali. I'm on my way there with the hammer down.
Okay, we're going to start with the baby red potatoes because they take longer to do than the rest of the stuff. You always want to make sure when you can to do things that take the longest first and then move your way into the rest so that it doesn't. Now a proper portion for 2 people would be about that many potatoes. Now before I start these, I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of extra virgin organic olive oil, about a 1/4 cup, not quite. Put it into the bowl. Then I'm going to take a tablespoon of organic minced garlic. Put it into the bowl. Then we're going to take rosemary. I'm going to probably take salt to taste. Probably about a 1/4 teaspoon. Just put it in there with it. And we're going to take this rosemary. You can just break it and lie it in there because they're going to be in the roasted part of potato. I just kind of break the sprigs into it to give it that great rosemary aromatic flavour. Or you can pick them off piece by piece. Doesn't matter, it's up to you. And I know it's hard for you to get fresh herbs whenever you can. I try to keep them, but as you know, as a truck driver, it's hard for you to do that as a lorry driver. Okay, we'll set these aside. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stir this up so that that can be marinated together. That wonderful flavour. Smells really, really good. Very aromatic. Okay, now I'm going to take a knife, and the bigger ones, you know, you typically want to just sort of cut them in half. Literally, toss them in. Doesn't matter how you cut them on the bias. Doesn't matter. The bigger ones, you want to typically try to cut them in threes, so you send bite size. That's all you really want. It's a good size there. This is a little bit bigger. Whoops, dropped one. Just wiping out the pan to make sure there's nothing in it from the inside of the drawer. Okay. I'm going to wipe it out with a towel. Many of you always wonder how I clean up, and this is how I do it. This is how I'm able to do all I do and keep things clean. Okay. Now we're going to lie these into here. that seasoning and whatnot out of there. Spread them about. Try and make sure they still all have a flavour. Now typically I would normally put like aluminum foil over this and so on and so forth, but I'm not doing that this time around. Alright, next thing you want to do, you set it aside, and then you're going to put it in your little oven. This is an oven that I bought at Walmart. It used to be the rival, but now it's a mainstay. Plug it in, and we're going to turn it to, turn it to about 325, and we're going to preheat it for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Let it warm up, then we're going to place them into the oven because they're going to take longer to cook, and then we'll start to prepare the other things. Okay, now that we've got about 10 minutes to wait, we're going to go and do the asparagus, which is quite easy. It's a simple thing to do. Whoops, there goes asparagus. I'll pick it up later. Typically you want to cut off some of the ends. Now when that dings, you want to make sure that you go ahead and open up the inside. It's going to be really hot. Make sure you have your oven mitts. Okay, then what you're going to do is place your pans inside there. You don't necessarily need the rack, but it's hot. Potatoes, put them about midway in, right onto the rack. There you go. That's enough. Not too warm, but warm enough. Okay, now you're going to start this and cook it for about 15 minutes and then check them. You're going to put them on about a 325 temperature to see how well they do. Definitely look at them to make sure that they stay golden brown and don't burn. The question that I'm asked quite often is, how am I able to keep things clean after I've cooked? It's quite simple actually. You clean as you go. All I use is Lysol wipes or baby wipes. I mean, if it's clean enough for a baby's behind, I think it's clean enough for my stuff that I cook with. Then what I do, because I know many of you are going to come back and say, well, the Lysol has residue. While it's wet, you dry it. Clean. I'm going to check these, and while they're sitting in there for the last 5 minutes of this, it looks like they're going to be done here soon. As you can see, that spot is almost gone. Okay, so we're going to check them, pulling it out. It's going to burn if I don't do this. Okay, set it down here. And if you'd like, see, you can still see right in the center discoloration. But what we're going to do is we can actually check them with a fork. Not quite done, almost there. Okay, back in they go. Be careful not to burn yourself. Shove, there we go, locked in, and there we have it. Alright, let's see how they're done. Careful, missing my stuff. You kind of have to hold this thing whenever you're trying to open this door because the door's magnetic. So go in here, and when you pull this out, there's a lip here in the edge, as you can see. It helps hold it in tightly. Be really careful when pulling it out so you don't get the product or the food all over you. Actually, it looks really good. Okay, let's check them with a fork. Can you put your finger? Ho ho! Done. Nice and easily put the fork through. All right. Now we can set these aside, and we're going to toss the asparagus in. We're not going to actually toss it. We're just going to set it in there. Okay. Treat out pans. Okay. Now normally the cooking time would probably decrease if you had aluminum foil over it, because it holds in the heat and would cook a lot faster probably. Okay, throw in here. Now, just like with potatoes, we're going to set it for 15 minutes. As they are not as dense as potatoes, it may cook in time in 10 to 15 minutes. So we're going to turn it back on, same temperature on the oven, but we're going to put it on 15 minutes and have a go with that.
Oh, to make it safer on the road, Lord willing, no driver left behind.
It just dinged. Let's see how well they're done. Hold it, pull it. Hold it, pull. Alright, let's see how tender they are. We can actually stir them about, flip them around. Oh God, it smells so good. Such a wonderful aromatic flavor. Smelling. Oh. Let's see. Test one out. Needs to be a little bit longer. We're going to stir them about, moving the ones from the bottom to the top, really, so that the other ones can cook and you get that butter and stuff on over that. And I believe they may need a bit more salt. It dinged again. It's time to check them. Looks done to me. And they still have that vibrant green colour. The most important thing is when you're doing your vegetables, you keep their vibrant colour, especially with the green vegetables, because certain green vegetables, if you continue to get them when the colour is a discoloured green, it can cause crystallizations that cause kidney stones. So make sure your vegetables are vibrant in colour. This is a salmon that we picked up at Walmart when we went market run, and this one comes with a bit of pesto butter, in other words seasoning that can go on top of this salmon when you're going to cook it. Butter, as many of you may not know, actually keeps your salmon moist when you're cooking it. Some of you try to use olive oil and stuff like that. Oil doesn't help it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put salt in this. Go ahead and add your salt to the top of it. Typically I would normally use some sea salt, but I don't have that this time around. Now another thing you can do, we're going to smell the... Okay, so that's just got a bit of lemongrass, it seems, and butter. So one thing is I don't really like using seasonings that are already packaged because you don't know what's in it. A pesto is a pesto, but what kind of pesto is it? So it smells like lemongrass and butter. So with that said, we've got the top done. And what you're going to do So we're going to flip it over like so, because you're going to be you're going to be cutting into, that's not the right one, it doesn't like me today. You're going to cut into the salmon and strip into it. It hates me, but this is so that you can get the flavour into the meat. It's a bit of a tough skin. Okay. You want to put the butter in there first, of course, and let it melt down. And then you're going to take and put the salmon on there. And we're going to more or less braise it on each side. And then we're going to pop it in the oven to cook the rest of the way. Now you want to stir this around so that the pesto and the butter mix together and all the seasonings are there. And then what you're going to do, it looks hot enough. And always when you're using these pans with the copper lining, ceramic lining, you want to use silicone is the best, or wood, but never use metal. It will eventually scrape the edges and tear it up. I'm going to place it in here. Now typically, if you want to pan cook it, which we could do, which I think we might tonight, 4.5 minutes on a piece of salmon that thick, it will be done to perfection. Beautifully done. Although, as a lorry driver, I've driven about 9 hours a day, a bit of a short day, I still got to work it in, and dinner's done. That's our show for the day. Join us again next time at another terminal, another lorry stop, in a state, in a city near you, doing what they say cannot be done, one driver at a time.
Healthy grilling, 18-wheeler, Chef Abbie's changing lives. She's doing it one driver at a time. She's got a long way to go to make it safer on the road. She's making your dreams come alive.
No! What? We have to wait. What are you doing? No. What are you doing? Huh? Mommy loves you. What are you doing? Ah! Oh, Jesus. Those claws, child. I love you. I love you.